stops, launches he's got it! Touchdown Chargers! What a throw!
This is the Chargers World Podcast.
What's up, Bolt fam? Welcome to the 8th episode of the Chargers World Podcast. Nice little hiatus for the boys. It's been about a month since our last episode. Off season, you know how it goes, but this week we got a ton of stuff to unwrap. Right away, let's get into it. Elephant in the room, Mike Williams, calling it a career after 8 seasons. Shocker. At least to me, I think the three of us, not expecting that at all. You know, we've been talking about it on the show. 70% Mike Williams, we get that, we're happy. Safety blanket for Herbert. Chemistry is there. He's our guy. Opens up the door for Keenan to come back, and all of a sudden we just get I thought it was a joke at first. I thought I was getting pranked. I was like, this is so random. But right away, I just want to know, Garrett, your thoughts, because I know you were super excited when we got him back. And he's not number 13, but he's 81, and he's someone who has made a name for himself in L.A. How do you feel about the news of Mike Williams retiring?
Yeah, I mean, he's probably like a top, probably 3 to 4, like, favorite player, like, all time to me. And kind of what you said, you know, like the safety blanket for, you know, Justin and, you know, his contested catches, you know, safety blanket, open up for Ladd, you know, even, you know, Conklin, Amarion. I mean, he can open up the whole offense with his, like, downfield ability. And I just think, obviously, you know, going back to contested catches, like, the one game that pops up to me is the 3 or 4 fourth down conversions of the Raiders against the Week 18 game with the Staley timeout game. I want to say it was 21 or 22, but I might get those years mixed up. Regardless, it's the Staley 4th down game with the timeout. But, you know, that last drive to, you know, go to overtime with, like, you know, last play of the game, I believe it was 3rd or 4th down, regardless, last play of the game to Mike, you know, I was freaking out. And it was insane. But, I mean, Jared, you said it earlier. I think it was just, you know, he was just physically and mentally drained.
Yep.
You know?
And, yeah, it sucks. And I hope everything's all right with Mike and hope for the best, whatever he decides to do. I know he's a big streamer and video gamer. And, yeah, it sucks. But, I mean, health comes first and family comes first. So it sucks. And he's only 30 years old, man. It's guys, Andrew Luck was what? He was 29? Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was 29.
Not even 30.
It's scary, man. And it's, yeah, obviously, Mike. I'm actually curious to know what he hurt in the spring. I wonder if it was had to do with the knee or whatever he ended up hurting last year. I know he had a rough go in New York here. But, yeah, Rodgers ruins another career.
I was gonna say the mental. When I said mentally, it is 100% those 6 or 7 weeks he was at, you know, New York. I mean, I think he had 15 catches last year.
Rodgers
the red line.
Yeah, it's a joke. Yeah. I said it to my buddies that I was at one of the Jets games when they played Houston, and Mike wasn't playing much. And I'm like, dude, when he did go in, they were just not using him right at all. Like, he's not meant to be in a slot, like running. He's a good route runner, but he should be stretching the field and, like, going up and getting the 50-50 balls. Like,
well, Kellen Moore got, you know, it was a head-scratching play when he tore his ACL.
Yeah.
He took a screenplay. That's not Mike. Even regardless, that's Josh. I'm trying to think of what other receivers they had a couple years ago, but that's like, yeah, and even Keenan. Yeah, I mean, of course, Keenan.
Yeah.
You know,
but I mean, I think the fact that Brandon Staley decided to play starters in that meaningless game a couple seasons back, and then we ended up, you know, we go down Mike Williams against Jacksonville, and again, it was just one of those where he's like, "Oh, the analytics say you got to start your guys." Well, history says you should probably rest them, especially when it's someone who had an injury history like Mike Williams. And we were all kind of holding our breaths. We're like, "Please, no starters get hurt." Like stupid game. We didn't even win that game. We lost. We ended up losing that game, and we lost our second best wide receiver. So it was kind of just like
it wasn't even a seeding game. Like we locked
it
up.
was
I think
nothing.
the fifth seed
It was
already,
nothing.
or you know what I mean. We locked
There was
it up.
no
And it
point.
was, there was no point. So yeah, it's just we all love Mike, man. I mean, he's the Chargers. Like I don't want to say legend because I think that term gets thrown out too much, but like that's like I mean he's my generation. Like one of my favorite players of all. Like it's just crazy, man. But again, Greg, like you said, bringing open the door for other receivers.
I don't think Mike came here with the intentions of like, oh, I'm just gonna come here and retire as a Charger and get my bag. I genuinely think that whatever he's dealing with on the pup list, whatever it is, Harbaugh is not mentioning it as always. This morning, Harbaugh said, like he's dealing with something, but he'll be good. And boom, like a couple hours later, he retires. So I think that whatever he's dealing with, it's kind of might have just been like the straw that broke the camel's back, no pun intended. I just think that was it.
I don't mean to interrupt you, but the Harbaugh thing that you mentioned, he knew he retired last night, so they knew.
Retired,
yeah, they knew. So I guess Harbaugh just didn't say anything because of the fact that it was coming out a couple hours later.
Yeah, maybe he's probably just like let Mike announce it when he feels like it.
Or let his agent tell different reporters.
Yeah, I don't even know how that shit works.
Yeah, but luckily, kind of transition from that, we ended up signing our second round rookie, Trey Harris, because we were kind of in this limbo, right? For about an hour or two until Trey signed, it was like, damn, so we're kind of back at the same wide receiver room we had last season, plus a couple rookies. Well, at that point, one rookie because Trey was still holding out. So Trey Harris signs, good thing to do. I think it's a smart thing. It's about $7 million over 3 or 4 seasons. The issue was second round picks historically didn't get guaranteed money. One team this season creating 30 holdouts overnight, essentially. But I think the Broncos got it done with their second round pick. A couple teams started to trickle in, and then it was a no-brainer. Once Mike retired, it kind of probably got together, and they're like, hey, we got to give this guy his deal. $7 million. We believe in him. That's why we drafted him. Let's give the guy money. Let's get him out there so he gets his valuable training camp reps. So what do you guys think about Trey Harris? Obviously, no more drama with that. Just ready to get the ball rolling, get healthy, get in shape, and get familiar with Herbert. So, Jared, what do you think about that?
Yeah, he definitely needs that chemistry with Herbert now. Since Mike retired, we're lacking that. And besides, it's Ladd, QJ, and then from there, it's kind of gets sketchy quick. Jalen Reagor made a great catch in camp today. I know we're going to bring that up. So getting him in there and getting those reps to stretch the field is going to be huge for him. And getting in shape, apparently that was a huge issue with him that just came up. I saw the other day. I didn't even know it was an issue. In OTAs that receivers coach, I can't say his name, but
Sanjay Lal.
Yes, Sanjay. He's having issues with whatever. We'll see. We'll see how that develops, and hopefully he's out there tomorrow and practicing because we saw KLS had a nice touchdown in 7-on-7 today. Herbert threw a dime in there, but he's going to do that. And the guy's going to catch the ball. And I don't know if you guys saw QJ drop the one pass, and then they made him go back and run it again. It was like a 5-yard hitch route, for our guy OG. So we'll see how it develops. I mean, I definitely think you got to get another receiver in there, a veteran that can develop chemistry with Herbert fast. And then, I'll toss it over to Garrett.
Yeah, Garrett, what veterans do you have in mind?
Yeah, but no, I completely agree with Trey, and he definitely needs to get into camp because, again, you can't, start off, on the wrong foot. Unfortunately, we had a rookie wide receiver a few years ago, first rounder. I mean, Greg's wearing him that we didn't use properly, got off to a wrong foot, and it's been downhill, and hopefully QJ turns around again, gets more yards this year, more touchdowns, just takes that step forward. But yeah, I mean, obviously, Greg, kind of like what you said, there's about an hour and a half lull of us just going back and forth, like, what are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? Obviously, I'm gonna bring up right away, and Greg, you said if us three were there at training camp, we'd be the three loudest guys screaming, bring Keenan back. Yeah. And it's all over Instagram right now. It's probably all over X, everywhere. Every single comment, people who probably watch the podcast see Rev_Garrett say, bring 13 back, and I tag Keenan every time.
Because, I see it in every post.
Yeah, every post. I'm just saying it. Like,
you
bring
know
it
the
back.
Chargers are seeing it, too.
Oh, yeah.
100.
They know. Like,
they heard it. They heard it today.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Them saying it. I mean, right away. But besides, Keenan's no-brainer is, again, all three of us kind of brainstormed. I know we all have one. I'm going to bring up one that it was a shocker, and it might be a shocker to the the folks listening, is Jawan Jennings from the Niners. If we could trade for him, in my opinion, it would have to probably be a sign and trade. It's not Joe Ortiz's route. He had a huge year last year. Just pulling up the stats real quick: 77 catches for 975 yards and 6 touchdowns. That room was very injured. The red flag for me, and I think you guys will agree, Jawan's already 28 years old, and before this year, he hasn't reached over 416 yards. So he's going to his 5th year, 975 yards with an injured room. Debo he was sick a couple games, out of shape, it looked like. And then, of course, Brandon Ayuk, towards his ACL. I don't know what week. It was early. But I just don't see that happening, Greg, personally. But his name's everywhere right now. But,
yes.
Jawan Jennings, his name's everywhere.
I agree with, the fact that he hasn't had a great career numbers-wise. But the more I thought about it as you were talking, I was like, damn, he's honestly the 5th option on offense. Because you got Ayuk, you got Debo, you got CMC, you got Kittle, and then it's Jennings. He's kind of been like... And you have Pearsall now, yes. But, I'm talking, the stretch of his career, he's kind of been, option 5 on offense. Mm-hmm. So I think if you think of it from that perspective, as option 5, he's been all right, and he had a chance to step up. And I think from those 900-some yards, I think maybe 10 to 15% of that came in one game, and I had him in fantasy for that game. Dropped 44 points.
48%.
So Jennings, I think, is a viable option. I think he's very similar to Mike Williams in the sense that he makes big catches. He could use his size to take an advantage. But Jared, what do you think? Do you think any other veterans that stand out to you to kind of come in and replace Mike Williams right off the bat?
Yeah, a guy that I forgot about until someone mentioned it today. Gabe Davis. He had signed in Jacksonville, and that was kind of a disaster. He had, I think, I'm completely guessing, I want to say it was a collarbone, but I could be completely wrong. But he only played in 10 games last year, 20 catches, 239 yards. But the year before that in Buffalo, the 2 years prior to that, he was over 700 yards, 7 touchdowns in both seasons, caught half his targets, and he played with an elite quarterback, and he could play that position that we do need now. And that's kind of Ortiz's route, cheap veteran guys, and I think he would be great. Not great. He would be a good option for the team.
And again, his nickname in Buffalo, sorry, Greg, is Big Game Gabe because his playoffs. I mean, he lit up
3 touchdowns. 3 touchdowns.
You're right, yeah, in that crazy game.
I'll get you the exact ones there.
Yeah, give us the numbers on that. Because he had a Randy Moss type. They were putting side-by-side images of Randy Moss's 3-touchdown game and his.
21 and 22, he was in the playoffs. He played 2 playoff games. The 22, he had 8 catches for 147 and a touch. And then in 21, he had 10 catches on 13 targets, 242 yards, and 5 touchdowns in 2 games.
And that's what, yeah. And it was a meniscus, Jared.
Okay, I was completely wrong then. Oh,
it's okay.
Christian Kirk
had the
collarbone.
I was on the right track.
Good recovery. They were on the right track. Yeah, they were really beat up last year, Jacksonville. Yeah. But torn meniscus, and it was a mess last year on that team, I think, besides BTJ.
I will say Gabe is more intriguing to me than Juwan is
Hmm.
because I think back to his time in Buffalo and the reason he was so good, right? It was next to Diggs for a majority of his time in Buffalo. A lot of attention on Diggs, just opening up these deep routes for Gabe. And Josh Allen has arguably the best arm in the league. Uh, Trevor Lawrence, not so much. Trevor Lawrence is very solid quarterback. I think he's accurate. I don't think he's got a cannon. But now you pair up Gabe Davis with Justin Herbert and a run game and Lad McConkey keeping defenders on their toes. You open up that deep threat and you have that cannon. So I think it mimics his time in Buffalo much more than his time in Jacksonville, just because of the circumstances and the quarterback. Uh, so I think I would, if I had to choose between the two, I'm obviously going Gabe Davis there. Uh,
I
but
would
again,
almost say Gabe would be, besides Keenan, he may be the number two. I know, Greg, you're going to get to the other guy, but you could make an argument that at the point in their careers that Gabe could be the best option.
yeah,
And he's
yeah,
20.
and
He's 26 still, guys. He's 26.
Oh,
He's still
wow.
young.
Yeah.
yeah, he's
Yeah,
young.
yeah.
Uh, so I think those two in mind. The one guy that I had to actually Google today to make sure he's still a free agent before I said anything was Amari Cooper. Completely forgot that Amari's out there, and again he played in Buffalo too. Didn't have the greatest season, and I know this again because I did have him in fantasy again. I had him in fantasy all season, and then when he got traded to the Bills, I was like, "Damn, this is my chance! Like he's gonna have a great core." And he had a good game the first game, and then kind of just fell off after that, which is shocking because Buffalo was in need of receiver help. So I'm not sure how much of that is just to contribute to the midseason trade or just wasn't a good fit. But I think he's still got some in the tank, and I think I'd be happy with an Amari Cooper signing. I mean, I'd be happy at this point with any signing: Jawan Jennings, Gabe Davis, Amari Cooper. Not even to mention the best one, Keenan Allen. Which I want to hear your guys. Sorry to sidetrack, but I want to hear you guys because so many comments in my posts, especially when I talk about Keenan, are like, that's so redundant with Lad. It's going to hinder Lad's growth. They're two of the same players, and I'm just like, dude, that's like the best thing that can happen for Lad right now is Keenan coming in and polishing his route running, being a mentor to him, just being there to take some pressure off of him. Like, guys, one of them could play the X if they have to. Lad can do it.
You can
Lad
figure
can
it out.
clearly do it. Just go look at the
Yes.
tape against the Texans. Lad can play anywhere on the field if he has to.
I just want to throw one thing in, Greg. Again, all these people's fans saying it. It's 3rd and 8, week 1 against the Chiefs, and we're on the Chiefs' 46-yard line. How dangerous is it to have Keenan and Ladd both out there? With
Insanely
Trey.
dangerous.
How just I mean, I want like fans to think about that. Like seriously. I mean, what do you think, Jared? Like that's
Yeah,
disgusting.
I mean, if you have those two, and then if Harris can turn into something, or even QJ, and like, I think we were talking
Conklin.
about it yesterday, and yeah, Conklin, Gadsden, and all those guys on the field, the guys that can stretch the field. QJ, yes, like yeah, he's been inconsistent in his play, but I was saying to Garrett, I think it was yesterday, I said teams didn't have anyone else to worry about besides Ladd and QJ. If you throw somebody in the mix, that's another guy to have to worry about. And QJ, one-on-one, I'm not saying he's going to beat him every time, but that just makes it easier on QJ. And he doesn't have to be the number 2. He has to be a number 3 at that point. And he has to be very just consistent. That's it. And, yeah, I think it's a no-brainer to get one of these guys in there. And unfortunately, I just saw before we hopped on, I was trying to find it. I must have been a Chiefs guy, but he was saying that if Rashee Rice is out, suspended for a while, that he wants them to make a call to Keenan Allen, which would really hurt. But I doubt that happens.
I doubt that happens at all.
I'm not too concerned.
Just seeing like Broncos, Raiders, or Chiefs fans post about our former players pisses me off.
Oh, it drives me
Like,
crazy.
And it's always been the case, Melvin Gordon's and all these guys going back. But I think what pissed me off the most, and I didn't even care for this player, it was just his demeanor after he went there, was Drew Tranquill. Like I
I
can't.
knew you were going to say it. I knew you were going to say
I,
it.
I went
I
from
knew it.
loving the dude, to seeing his ass
too.
miss so many tackles against the Chiefs and the Jags, and just realizing like, all right, dude, like you're cool, you can dip, and then he goes there to be like linebacker 3. Not even gonna talk shit. He played well. Nick Bolton missed some time. Like he stepped up. He played well.
I was
But
going to say, like, he's not even the number one. I was like, who is it? Bowman?
he
Something like
wasn't
that.
the
Bolton's a
number
beast.
2.
Yeah,
Bolton's-
Bolton's
He
a
wasn't the
beast.
2. But they love him in KC, which is great, bro. Enjoy your time in KC. But why you gotta shit on the team that drafted you and you started your
Yeah,
career
and he
with?
came the Super Bowl parade he was talking about. I'm like, dude, go fuck
That's
yourself.
where it started. This is
Yeah,
way better
so-
than LA, dude. Shut up, bro.
Yeah,
Yeah.
whatever.
I mean, nobody living in Missouri thinks it's better than LA. I'm
yes,
sorry.
winning Super Bowls is enjoyable. We get it.
Exactly.
But I want to talk about camp. But before we get into that, again, it's like we haven't had an episode in a minute. So the July 4th incident, I remember talking to you guys, and I was like, guys, I'm hearing some rumors that Najee might have hurt his eye, but there was no credible sources. And I was like, the people that I'm asking who would know, they're kind of hush hush about it. So we all thought it was a hoax, right? We're like, it was kind of weird, but also at the same time, why would someone make a hoax about Najee Harris? It's like, it wasn't like in my mind, I was like, there's something to it, but I don't know what it is. Some people were going as crazy as saying the guy went blind. Like, thank God that didn't happen. But
Yeah.
apparently had a fireworks injury. Shout out Jason Pierre-Paul. These guys got to learn. Don't play with fire. Luckily, he's all right. He suffered what the doctors called superficial injuries, which I learned and Googled again, that it means surface level. So could be his eyelid, it could be, around the eye, but I don't think there's any damage to the actual eye. But again, he's unable to perform at the moment. But Jim Harbaugh said he's been available at meetings, and he was treating at Stanford Hospital. So it's pretty serious, but also at the same time, they're kind of playing it off as not so serious. Do you guys think that Najee's ready to go week 1? Do you think he's going to miss some time in training camp and kind of like miss that chance to build on that chemistry and possibly lose his chance at being the running back 1? Garrett, what do you think about the whole situation with Najee?
Yeah, I just don't play with fireworks. Number one, I'm really glad he's okay though. Like I don't mess around with them. It's just wild. So I'm really glad he's okay. But I mean, to answer your question, I don't think him going into camp he was going to be RB1. And luckily we do have. And again, we all love Haskins. We talked about him. We have Fidel. He was to miss time. I don't think he does. I really don't. But if he does, I think we have a good backup with Haskins. Right away, and Fidel in the mix. What do you
Don't
think?
forget
Jared?
Rocket.
Yeah.
Don't forget.
Yeah. Talking about that's my camp position and players to watch. That running back, that third running back spot. That Rocket Sanders, Patterson. They loved Patterson on special teams last year, and Kamani Vidal. But going back to Najee, I would listen. It's not Staley, like it's Harbaugh. He knows what's going on. I would listen to them, and I would probably expect him in some sort of fashion on the field probably next week. I'd give him what's been 2 weeks now. He's getting treatment, and they'll get him out there as soon as he can. I don't think he misses any time, though. And I think he hasn't missed a game in 3 years. Obviously, this is a different circumstance. But, I don't see him missing time.
What do you think, Garrett?
No, I
Oh,
don't,
you
I don't
already
think he'll miss.
discussed it.
Yeah, no, you're good. Yeah, I don't think he'll miss time or anything like that. I think he'll be good, Greg.
Well, I hope so. I hope because the guy's never missed a game in his entire career. So, like you guys mentioned, so I really hope that he's all right. I hope he's able to get some training camp in, and I really want that 1-2 punch in the running back room that we haven't really had. Not
sure.
since LT and Sproles. Genuinely, like we have not had that in a very long time, and we discussed so many times that this is the Harbaugh mentality. They fit the mold. We finally have a team that's like meant to be a Harbaugh team. It's on paper, it looks great, especially with that 1-2 punch in the running back room. So I hope he's able to play and be 100% because we need that. Not only for the run game, we need it week 1, definitely in Brazil, and we just need it throughout the season. We need them to stay healthy. We need Hampton to get more comfortable, and for his reps are going to go up naturally as the season progresses, but kind of ease him in a little bit. So I hope, again, like we said, we hope Najee's all right, number 1, first and foremost. And number 2, we hope he's ready for the season. So you mentioned you're watching the running back room, Jared, in camp. I'm personally watching the offensive line, which I think was our kryptonite last season. Harbaugh touched on it a little bit, that Zion and Bozeman are competing for center. Herbert said Zion's a genius when it comes to football. A lot of praise coming out of the locker room towards these guys competing. I was a little bit more hopeful and optimistic that we were going to sign some more interior linemen. Obviously extremely happy about Makai. Hope he stays healthy. Hope he repeats his year from last year or improves on that. But with left guard and center, I'm kind of just having a hard time getting on board with what's going on. Like, we're experimenting with the left guard playing center. We signed Andre James. Bozeman kind of had an off year. Garrett, what do you think about that interior O-line? What are you hoping to see in camp? And ultimately, what do you think is our starting offensive line going into week 1?
Yeah, I mean, I completely agree with you. That's my biggest position group in training camp as well. And, I think I was watching the clip with the Mike Williams retiring, or it was something else on ESPN prepping because we started camp, yesterday and today, and they put up the position group. I think Jared watched the same one, and They listed Zion at center right away when they were just going over the whole line and everything. And again, I like the phrase, it is. And you said in our chat, though, Greg, we're one Makai Becton injury away from having the same O-line as we did last year. And that is, like, super scary. And Jim's presser as well, he talked about, Pipkins. Pipkins is going to be the rotating. He can play every position besides center. Honestly, he has with us. Played at, like, tackle or guard is what I mean. And we have Sawyer still, but we'll see. I mean, I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful that, Zion is looking great, building that rapport with Justin under center, getting his feet, prepped, right away to go, to face Chris Jones week 1. The best interior defensive player in football.
Yeah.
So
what a challenge. What a challenge
right
if it's
away.
your first time starting at center.
Yes. Exactly. What about you, Jared?
Yeah, I think going into week 1, it's going to be Slater, some combination of Zion and Bozeman, guard and center, and then it's going to be Becton and Alt. And obviously, if Makai goes down or whatever, somebody goes down, and we have a similar O-line to last year, I think, yes, it's obviously not the best thing in the world, but I think people forget that this team won 11 games last year. And they made the playoffs with a 5 seed, and we didn't even have a sweat at the wild card. We were the top wild card pretty much the whole time. And it's just taking that next step, obviously, and getting through that hump when you face a team like Houston that has a good front and good defense, and then they took away our weapons that we don't have. I think we're a good team. Like, I think the line's going to be fine. I think if everyone's healthy and we're playing well, I think we can push the top 5 O-line and just protect 10. Please just protect 10 in any way possible. That's what I got.
Yeah, and protecting 10 should be the priority for the entire team
Yeah.
because I was having this discussion with one of my buddies who's also a Chargers fan, and we're like, dude, because there was some list that came out. It was the odds for who's going to lead the league in touchdowns, and Herbert was like bottom 5 at like plus 3,500. And okay, like that's cool. Like I don't expect him to lead the league in touchdowns, but 2 years ago he would have been like the third best odds to finish. So, and what we were talking about, like what's really changed? Obviously the coaching and the offensive play calling, but we really dug deep and we're like, dude, he used to roll out of the pocket much more. And we attribute that to his leg injuries, right? A lot of his best throws, if you watch his like 60 seconds of Justin Herbert's best throws, rolling out to the left or right and throwing bombs. With the ankle and the leg injuries, I feel like he was just so stuck in the pocket and also being dealt with a lot of interior pressure, so not able to really do much. But I think if he has that healthy season again and he's able to roll out, and because his tackles are his strength right now, so if he's rolling out towards the tackles, he might buy himself an extra second and a half, which is huge for someone like Justin Herbert.
Absolutely.
So yeah, offensive line will be huge. Interior, I have, I'm getting on board with it. I will say, hearing about it is one thing, but I think seeing Zion be productive at center will be another. And I'll say, you know what? That's awesome. Good for Zion, contract year. Let him be our starting center if he's doing better than Bozeman and James. No problem. But I really do think it's going to come down to the last couple of weeks and maybe even just experimenting in preseason with a couple things. But we got football at the end of this month, boys. We got Chargers football at the end of this month. Actually, in like 2 weeks.
Yeah,
we got the Hall of Fame game. Yeah. Against my favorite NFC team, to be honest. I'll be 100% honest with you. You guys know how I feel about
the Lions.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I'm going back to the O-line thing and a little bit about Mike. The game against the Saints, ESPN, I was watching the highlights. Everyone was today, and I was looking at that O-line, and I'm like, how the hell did we win football games with that line? Sam Tebby was playing like that. I'm like, what the hell were they thinking? And I guess that's kind of why Herbert, going back to what you were saying, Greg, about what happened with the touchdowns and stuff like that. I guess because we were trailing so much in some of those games that he was just letting it loose, and that line was terrible. Like we weren't even competing at that point. Like it was just bad,
horrible.
Yeah, and that's another reason why Keenan should come back. We got a good line now. We'll protect him.
Was it the Saints game where Mike had that disgusting catch with his helmet coming off?
The Monday night game where he was he jumped up like twice.
Like 3 dudes were on him or something like that.
Crazy.
Yeah, it was disgusting.
I was so hyped, and it was COVID, and like I remember Monday night I had my jersey on. I was at school, and I was just like hyped up for this game, and I'm like, then the season comes around, we're playing Atlanta. I think the same year Atlanta. I'm like, I can't even watch these games anymore. This team's terrible. Like they were horrible.
There's a few games that remind me of Mike, and definitely that Saints one. Obviously, the walk-off against the Chiefs is forever engraved in my memories. And I also think back to the Steelers and the Browns games. I think it was the 2022.
I was going to say the Browns game 100% when it was like 40. We put up 45.
Dude, it was like 45-42 or something. It was a high-scoring game. Yeah,
I said we lost the game 20 times.
Yeah, that was insane.
Mike just used to get so open.
Catches, man.
Yeah, dude, he was able to get so open. How the hell is he wide open?
He's just this big receiver.
It's funny. And
same thing against the Chiefs. Like, how was he so wide open? How did they blow that coverage? In Kansas City, in Arrowhead, just walking off. It's such a good. Oh man,
he had Greg when you said, the Titans is disgusting. When you said him rolling out, the catches I'm thinking of was one, two.
The Browns.
There was 2 to Mike that I was thinking of. It was the Browns when he was wide open on like the left, when he was wide open. Him against the Eagles when he was against Slay. Yeah, when he was matched up against Darius Slay,
Dude,
and then
that
of course
was
the
crazy.
the two Guyton ones, the one against the Giants and then the one against the Bengals
Because they
when
used to,
he
like, he'd come
took
off the
the
play
ball away from
action
him.
and roll out right, and then throw it back left.
Throw it left. Yeah.
Bomb. And it was just
Bomb,
Mike
yeah.
wide open, or Guyton was just running past everybody at that point.
Yeah. Hey, Greg, are we
Who
going to
was
bring up the
starting
other? For who?
for the Browns? It wasn't Watson, was it? No, Watson wasn't playing.
It was Baker.
It was Baker, right? It was our boy
Yeah,
Baker,
it was
bro.
Baker. Yeah, because my best friend, shout out Jake, is a Browns fan, and I have a soft heart for them still. And just to veer real quick, two things before we get into the other elephant in the room about what got released the other day. I love Shador Sanders. Did you guys see what Shador did? There was like a huge fire in Cleveland.
Yeah.
He went there. Him and his team puts his stuff together like within like 3 or 4 days. He literally was hanging out with like fans in Cleveland. He brought food trucks. He brought everything, man. Like it's
Yeah,
Did
he's
you
a
see
good
what
dude.
Gillis said?
I was
on the
just gonna say
last
that
night?
too.
That was great.
he
The what?
he
Shane Gillis on the ESPYs last night. Go watch it about Shador after.
Oh
that.
yeah. Oh yeah. Oh
Fire.
okay.
Dude, that was great.
watch his
Shane killed
entire
it.
skit.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the crowd was so lame, dude. They were so quiet and like the guy was
Dude,
crushing it.
Yeah, he killed
Crushing it. Drewski forgot his envelope too, but it just cracked. You know, it's just like, hey, we want to welcome four-time WA All-Star, Brooke something. Give her a hand.
Everyone starts
Bro,
clapping.
that's my buddy's wife, man. Like it's,
I knew nobody knew WNBA players.
yeah, that's my buddy's wife. That was so funny.
That's fucking great.
Shane's hilarious, man. But
I
Garrett,
know.
you mentioned something about something we had to talk about. I'm not sure what you're referring to, man. Is it?
Dude, I don't know. I heard like there's like a gold jersey. Some team released like a gold jersey, which is
Oh.
crazy. And like throwbacks, like Charger Power or something like that. I don't know what they're talking about, man. I don't know if you guys ordered one yet. What you think? I mean, what about you, Greg? I don't know, man.
So we finally got the navies, and they did it right because they made it look retro and they made it look badass, and they filled in the bolts. See right here, the navies we had. This is boring. They filled it in. It looks like the San Diego days, and they're going with the whole supercharger theme. I give the navies a 10 out of 10. I absolutely love them.
He killed it.
Another thing they added was the powder blue pants. I love the all powder blue look. I like the white and powder blue. I'm cool with that. Solid, something people have been asking for. I give that like an 8 out of 10. The sunshine gold, as they call it, the all yellows. I hated them at first, but I feel like they grew on me a little bit. I like that the numbers are white inside. I had seen some mock-ups of the numbers being like royal, kind of like your jersey right now, Garrett. But a lot of the like fans across the league are hating on it. Just people in the NFL in general are hating on it. I think it's gonna look badass. We only wear it for one game, so like go out and have fun with it. Maybe we were undefeated in the yellows, and then people are like, "Oh, hey, we went 1-0, so let's keep wearing them." But Jared, what do you think? What do you think? What's your favorite from the three? Is there something that you were expecting that you didn't get?
Yeah, I think the navies, they killed it. The powder blue pants I love. And then the gold. I like the gold. I don't know if it's because I wore it in college and that's kind of just, I like it. But the combo that I like is the white helmet, the gold jersey, and the white pants. Like this.
Yeah, that's fire. That's fire.
That's
That is.
the look. And I think something that kind of didn't really help the jerseys is the Herbert picture in all gold, and then he's like pale white, just doesn't help the jersey at all.
I think that's
He's
what it
wearing
is.
gold everything, and then he's just white. Like then he puts on the powder blue sleeves, and then it looks good.
Yeah.
The picture doesn't do justice to what they actually are, and like once we get accessories and stuff like that, they'll look a lot better.
For sure.
I have a sorry to cut you off. I have a buddy who says the same thing about Lakers. He says white dudes never look good in
No.
Lakers jerseys. He's like, Luka came here and he looks like he's like a 15-year vet on his last leg in like the Lakers colors. So
It's
it made me
true,
think
though. It's
about what
true
you just said
certain
about
colors.
Herbert. So,
I think
Garrett, what are
the
your
gold
thoughts?
grew on. Yeah, of course, the Navy's just fire, bro. It's 11 out of 10, man. The gold. I'm glad none of you guys said it because right away I was like, oh man, like we were all like when we were just talking amongst ourselves like in our chat about like what it could be. And we're all like, I don't know about the gold, man. But obviously, I think it started last year with Justin wearing the gold quarterback jersey. And I think it just like kind of took off from there of like the different ideas, the Spanos family scene and Harbaugh. But I'll be real. I saw comments. People are probably going to comment on this. Seeing Derwin hyped as he was wearing that gold jersey made me love it
Loved it.
even more.
That's why I got
Loved
the
it.
gold for Derwin.
That's why
He
I'm going to get the gold
loved it.
Derwin as well because he loved it,
Yeah.
man. Like he was all about it. And so like him seeing like that excitement, it just grew, man. And like the Navy is just absolutely
They got to
sick.
do this next.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Jared, you and I were
That's-
in agreement on that.
that-
That was badass.
Yeah, that's sick, man. It is.
I
That
think
reminds me of straight up, like, that reminds me of Drew Brees and Phillip right there, man.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
right away, it's Drew,
Yeah.
Drew and Phillip.
Yeah, I think of Antonio Gates when I see that combo. Honestly, with the big, I don't know. I'm happy with it. It'll be fun. We get to wear it for 3 games. I think it's the Vikings and Raiders for the Powders, and
The
Colts
gold
are
for the
wearing-
Colts.
Yeah.
Colts gold, and those are all home.
One of
games,
them's
I
on
believe.
Thursday. Yeah, all are home. And then the Vikings is Thursday Night Football.
Yes.
Well, prime time.
Yeah.
Prime time, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's go.
That's gonna
That'll
be
be
fun.
sick, man. Absolutely.
What do you guys think? I know this is not Chargers related, but I mean, this is Tampa related. What do you think about the Bucks alternates?
I think they're so sick, man. I love
They're
it.
clean.
I
They're
really,
clean.
really do. They're so clean. I like the Saints white helmet as well.
Yeah,
and I'm
same.
very curious to see this like rivals thing that we talked about before, like the rivals jerseys and stuff like that, like the matchups. I'm curious to see,
Just,
the
the
results of.
Bucks one's going to be really nice.
Yeah, exactly. Just to see, the styles and stuff like that, what they come up with. So,
The old
but I
school.
mean, yeah, our jerseys are unmatched, man. I love them. I can't wait. They just
I've
need
been-
they need to drop Amarian Hampton. We talked about it. Sorry, Greg. Amarian Hampton. Dayon
I need that.
needs it in there too. I think we'd all look really good in like an Amarian 8 jersey. That's for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Damn
you'd
right.
look great in a number 8 jersey, bro. Absolutely.
Yeah,
But I'm waiting for that. I'm waiting for that Navy Hampton for sure.
for sure.
Haven't copped a gold yet. I possibly will if we win with it. I'm considering it. But I really want that number 8 in Navy. And actually, now that you mention it, a 0 wouldn't be too bad either.
Yeah,
Agent
zero
0.
sides.
And I'll just
Greg would
add
look
that.
good in zero.
Yeah. 0. The amount of playoff wins Justin Herbert has, right? As OG
Yeah.
would say.
Right now.
But that's going to change this season. I'm
Yes.
confident in it, and I think we have a lot to look forward to. Obviously, it was kind of a rough week with the Najee news and the Mike news, but still got some time. Still got time to make plays. Still got time for players to get healthy. Overall trajectory has been optimistic and moving forward, and excited to see what these guys do. Anything else, guys, before we call it?
Bolt up.
Bolt up.
Bolt up.
Let's go. Thank you guys for listening. We'll catch you at the next episode.